Hi guys, welcome to Love and Info. How's everybody doing? I miss you guys so freaking much. I hope everybody's doing great. I hope that everybody's trying to live their best life. You know, live your best fucking life. That's pretty much it, you know. So I already made another video. I already filmed it, but I wanted to finish this whole chakra videos first, and all you guys wanted was the crown chakra. But like I'm gonna upload another one after this, just telling you guys where I've been, lessons I've learned, what's been going on in my life, why it took me so long. But I told you guys this is gonna be forever, even if I stop for a while and go and find myself again and come back. Love and Info is still here. So today we're gonna talk about the crown chakra. We talked about the rest of the chakras. I hope that you guys liked the video so far. This chakra is a pretty good one. It's incredible the kind of things that we can avoid, the negative things in our life by following this kind of healing. When this chakra is fluid, our limitations to time and space are broken. We go into a state of consciousness and we become aware of a higher knowledge. And this higher knowledge makes us gives us presence, ecstasy, bliss. It's basically the link and the connection to everything that is spiritual, to everything that it is. You know, it's a gateway basically that we carry in our brains, that we carry in the top of our heads, that when we're able to unblock it and be fluid with it really makes us see it. It will takes us there. It will help us feel the connection to like the whole universe. So it's basically that connection that we look for in other people, but we actually find it past all of that, you know. Now, how can we tell when this chakra is imbalanced? How can we tell when this chakra is overactive? And how can we tell when this chakra is blocked? And what are the physical symptoms of all of this stuff? So when this chakra is imbalanced, we don't only feel like disregard and we don't partake in all of the spiritual things, but we have cynicism towards everything that is sacred, meaning that it will cost you like this antagonizing feeling that you almost want to, you know, you look at a person who is doing like a spiritual searching and self-growth and talks about all this kind of stuff, and you're just like, so what are you, like a monk? Are you like a witch? Like, what is it? What are you doing? You know, so it's that kind of attitude towards everything that is sacred. The overactive side, which is the opposite side of it, makes us feel disconnected with our bodies. Makes us feel disconnected. You know, you live in your head all the time. It's not so much like daydreaming, but it's just like, I'm here in my head, I don't feel anything else around me, therefore I just feel completely disconnected from myself. When it's blocked, now this is when it gets a little scary and dark. So when it's blocked, you isolate yourself. It gives you lonely, it just makes you feel really lonely, you know. You get the inability to interact with others, you lose that. You no longer know how to look at people in the eye and simply just connect with them and talk to them, and it's just not something that you even want to do. It makes you just want to be isolated. And when we isolate ourselves, we're vulnerable to a lot of things. They can take control over us, because anything that will gives us that fix, that ends up, you know, being in a lot of things like abusive relationships, addictions, and, you know, just taking hits from life that you don't really need to take. You know, and addiction is a really strong one, and it's actually a part of what the blocked chakra, the blocked crown chakra, will make you vulnerable to. And it makes completely sense, because you've disconnected yourself completely from everything else around you. You are in this place where your human instinct, which is to connect with people, is not being fed. So the drugs make you feel like, for that moment in life, you need that to feel happy all the time, because you can't get that from where your body needs it. Also, you can't really set any goals and actually get there. You have a lot of issues like trying to stick to what you said you were gonna do, and God knows. God knows I need to work on all of that, you know, and it shows. I know it shows in like my YouTube videos and all of that, but I think about actually trying to heal yourself is acknowledging that you have all these problems. It's looking at you know, doing your research and all this, you know, all those healing and chakra things, and actually looking at it and be like, fuck, like that's me. And that gives you, the universe actually will give you the guidance that you need to get there, because it's like, oh, okay, now the bitch knows what's wrong with her. She's acknowledging her own bullshit. She's acknowledging her own dark side. She's saying, okay, I'm wrong. That's wrong with me. I see that. I see it in my patterns. I see it in my this. So you're easier to guide when you acknowledge all of this stuff in yourself. It can bring stuff like learning difficulties as well. Now, there are some very physical symptoms about this shit. Like we have neurological disorder, we have nerve pain, we have thyroid and pineal gland disorder, Alzheimer, schizophrenia, delusional disorder. Now, schizophrenia, delusional disorder, like that sounds even a little bit to me what will happen when you don't have a fluid third eye chakra, which makes you not being able to see between what's real and what's not, you know, because you don't even know which one. So it's like, you know, all of those two together, it's just bad, you know. And you can also get insomnia and depression. Now, the thing about all of this stuff, now we know that we cause it, now that we know that we can heal ourselves. I'll tell you guys more about the healing part of it in a second. But we know that there's a way to get ourselves through it. So why is the pharmaceutical industry so fucking rich and is getting us nowhere? Because they're fucking animals. All they care is about money. If there's a reason why information like this is not as popular as it should be. And now it's a new world out here, and people are becoming more aware and more awake of all this stuff. But why was it not popular, and why was it not the thing to do forever? I mean, it sounds to me like if all of these things can actually stops ourselves from addictions, from depressions, from connection, from healthier body, from a healthier spirit, from actually wanting to do our best in life, why is it not a thing? Why is not everybody doing it? And I think a lot of it is, you know, it's things like government and things like money, people being hungry for control over other people. They've created all these other ideas to keep us away from this. And that is a big reason why I'm doing all this research, because I'm like, the rest of it doesn't make sense. How I'm doing it doesn't make sense. I don't want to take meds. I don't want to do that. I want to know what's wrong with me, and I want to see if I can get myself out of it. So I think that everybody should try that at least once, you know. So different ways of healing yourself, like I've already said it, acknowledging that you have all of these negative symptoms within you, it's the first part, because that will actually guide you to an answer. But there's other things that you can do to actually either get yourself to accept it, or just simply get yourself to where you need to get to heal yourself and want to heal yourself. Meditating and sound therapy. Sound therapy is life for me. It's so practical. I do it all the time, everywhere, you know, and I research. You do your research on it. Watch my video. There's the frequency videos. I explain it. I tell you guys what each of them is for in the positive way. How can you help, like with depression, with communication, with connection, with trying to find yourself, with trying to find your meaning, trying to find what is your passion, what do you want to do and work as for the rest of your life. All of that kind of stuff. It helps you with that, you know. The frequency that you can use for this one specifically, the crown chakra, is 963, because it's the frequency of the connection, the frequency that it makes when our bodies are connected to this gateway to what spirituality is. There's also meditating. Meditating, there's what they call the mudra, which is like the hand thing that you do when you're meditating. So it's basically you interlapse all of your fingers, except that the pinkies are pointing up, and you place it on your stomach. Now there's vocals that you can do for this while you're doing it too, and you can even do this on top of the frequencies, or you can find frequencies that have those vocals too, and they'll do it for you. There's things like forks, and there's the bowls, and you know, that whole sound bait that works as well too. Sound baiting is really fucking cool too, and it's basically the same thing as it is what sound therapy is. So the vocal is something like this. It's A and G, and you kind of just overpronounce the A. And it's just while you're breathing and you're concentrating on your breathing, the only thing that should matter is having enough air to say those vocals and breathe, you know. And that's pretty much it. It's easy, but it's not. Like we talked about the meditation thing with me, it's fucking hard for me to concentrate and just sit there. But finding all of this other things to like help with it, like, you know, the breathing exercises, the affirmations on your head, giving yourself instructions and constantly thinking about them, like it works, you know. And eliminating those thoughts that come to you in a passive way, not being angry at yourself or not being able to concentrate. It's a primal to all of this, because that creates like this negative energy that just comes right back at you into your brain, and it allows you even less to concentrate. There's foods that you can eat for this, but guess what? Because this is such a universal connection to take us far apart from everything that is physical. The only food that can actually feed this chakra is sunlight. Being along the four elements, those four elements that are always connected to that spiritual world, which is, you know, being around green areas, sitting on the fucking grass and doing a puzzle while you're bathing on sunlight. Sunlight, you know, it can charge your crystals. Why cannot I charge you? You know, it's been known through history that sunlight is very good for humans. I mean, not excessive. Don't go and get fucking skin cancer and shit, you know. But it's good to be outside, to feel the air, to feel the fresh air in you, and just take a walk, you know. As far as oils, we have frankincense, myrrh, and lavender. The stones are the moonstone, crystal quartz, and that's really it. So always remember too that for sound therapy you can use 528 like on your everyday basis, because that one actually helps with everything. Because every time that I tell you guys about sound therapy along with one of the for the chakras, I tell you guys what the specific one is, but I also remind you guys that 528, and I tell you guys why as well. Why 528 works for everything. Now another thing that 528 does, 528 is it returns your cells to the original form, meaning that all of that information in our cells, all of that body memory that we carry from being part of the same atoms that created history before us, that we don't have access to because we don't know how to connect with that yet, it brings it back to that, so we actually have the knowledge that we need to heal ourselves, to find that connection. So that kind of sounds like what this chakra is, so that's why it also helps. There's so many different aspects of 528. I talk about it all the time, but that's really it. Thank you guys. I'm gonna upload this one first, and then after that there's another video coming where I'll tell you guys where I've been and what's been going on in my life, what I've learned. It's gonna be called Calling in the Storm, so hope you guys like it. I love you guys. We're all stars, so don't hold yourself from shining. Bye.